Hello internet friends and future employers. I just came back from the movie The Batman, and it was it was a very interesting, spontaneous moment when I decided to go and watch the movie. It was not planned out at all. I went to the city to meet some friends, and we were sitting there. We had a quite lovely conversation, but I don't know, that somehow I was not in the mood. I didn't know what I want to drink, so I didn't know I want to go for wine. Usually I never go for wine. I didn't know which beer to choose. So if I don't know what makes me happy, that I usually go for the worst possible options, because why not? Let's do something adventurous. So I choose something I would never drink. I don't think I ever drank rosé wine, which is, I don't understand why would anyone order that. I said, okay, let's go for that one. And it was sweet, and I hate sweet drinks, and but somehow it was just hit me in the right moment. So I had a lovely conversation with the friends. We had something to eat, and I said, okay, I still have so much time, let's go and watch the movie. I was not sure if they're playing it right now. I know, because sometimes it's a bit confusing, because they do the advertisement much longer before than the movie actually plays, and sometimes, because of all those things going on right now, sometimes they don't even play it, or they play it on some sort of streaming services, and then the cinema decides not to play it, or they play it, I don't know, like once, I don't know, 10 o'clock or something, like what they do with Uncharted. So yeah, I went there, I checked it, and it was actually starting in 20 minutes, which is just wonderful. So I went back, I said goodbyes to my friends, and then I went to watch the movie. And you can't believe it, this cinema is very, very close to the city center, the Oxford Circus. 3 people watching it. There was 2 girls next to me, and then one guy front of them, and then one guy at the very back in the last row. Usually I go for like second or the fourth row, so I like to be very, very close to the screen. And this room is like, I think it can accommodate like 600 people. It's a massive room, absolutely massive room. And that was it, 4 people. You remember last week I watched Death on the Nile, again with 4 or 5 people, 4 people. Yeah, that was exactly, again, the couple, one person at the front and one at the back. So it was almost the same, 4 or 5 people. I have no idea how the cinemas nowadays making their money, but obviously I was in one of the early showings, so maybe that's the reason, and maybe later it will be better, I don't know. But Batman, it's something that I had no expectation at all, because I know that these kind of things are very, very, very expensive, and they need to please the whole crowd. When you print out comic books, when you design a comic books, what you can do is, actually, if you don't know which hello if you don't know which tune to get, then you simply just run 2 series next to each other, and if you get another feeling to do, then you can run like 20 different series of the same character. This is what they do with the X-Men. I don't think even the editors know how many series is running in the same time. So I was watching this one, and what I realized, that it's quite good to go for a movie when you have no expectation at all, because it's kinda, you get the whole thing, you get the whole picture. And the first thing, what I really enjoyed it, and it's always good to start with the positive stuff, but I really enjoyed it, that was the lack of CGI. And the people, the crowd. I don't think I've seen a movie like that, because I'm watching TV series and streaming services, and usually you have like one or two or three people in the room and no more than that. And movies with basically one or two person and the CGI, and that's it. And here it was like some sort of classic movies. You know, last year I took basically 1 month. It wasn't a vacation, because my friend, there's someone here next to me that you can hear her moving about. So last year, for a month, I took a vacation. But it wasn't really a vacation, it wasn't really a break. What I did, my friend opened a web shop, and I went home. I went to Hungary, south of Hungary, and I helped him develop this web shop. And while I was doing that, I wanted to do something that would really work as an escapism. And I watched movies with Al Pacino, and very old movies from the 80s, from the 90s. And what I realized, that what was strange watching those movies is not just the colors, it was the people, the extras that they have. You can actually see what's going on in the bar, on the dancing floor, and you have like 200 people or even more moving about. And I kind of, because nowadays they don't do this kind of stuff anymore, and it was very good to see this kind of things again. My favorite scene, absolutely my favorite scene, when Batman wakes up because he got knocked out. He wakes up and he's in the room with like, I don't know, like 80 people in a very small room. I don't know how we even put that many people inside. It's like the underground in the rush hour, 9 o'clock or 5 o'clock, when everyone goes to work and come back. The rush hour, completely full. Some other countries, we are here in England, but in other countries, there are people, employ people who are pushing the people in the carriages, so the train actually can leave the station. So that was one of the best. And of course, the church scene, and all these people. The negative, what I didn't really like, is the Pattinson, Robert Pattinson. He is too young. He's too young for this one. I think they should have waited like 20 years maybe, so he can play this character. He's like very young. He could be like, when I looked at him, he looked like Robin. You didn't get that kind of vibe as the Batman, but I loved it, because it's like, because he's from the Twilight, and Twilight has a very interesting place in my heart, because long time ago, like thousands of years ago, I was spending the Christmas with friends, and I don't know, the friends, there were two friends I knew, but the rest of the crew who came to London I did not know, and I kind of didn't get the vibe or anything like that. So I tried to get away from the Christmas party, and the cinema was open, and I went to watch the Twilight. This is what I did. I watched the Twilight, and I said, oh my god, thank god there is a movie like that. So that's why this guy has a very special place in my heart. This is definitely escapism, literally escapism. So I was watching this one and I liked the choices, but for some reason the Batman voice and everyone's voice, it didn't work for me at all, because nowadays everyone has a very different voice than before, than in what you can hear in the movies in the 80s and the 70s. I think it's because the sound system is different, how the actually the microphones works or something like that, or they had very deep voices anyway. But when you force yourself to work in a very deep voice, it just doesn't work, and sometimes you can't really understand what's going on, and you cannot be scared if you don't know what's going on. It's like, what did you say? What you need that kind of voice. When it comes, it flows naturally, like James Earl Jones, who voiced the Darth Vader or something like that, natural, not this sort of forced version of it. But anyway, and the other thing, it was the movements of the camera. It's like I was watching like a YouTube video. I didn't like that, the camera movement, and I don't know, it was very it felt like an independent movie in the same time. So there were things I really liked and there were things I did not. Catwoman is one of the best character of the series, one of the best character, and here it just, I didn't feel it. Somehow she was not part of the, it just didn't work. But it was the same thing with the Christopher Nolan's version as well. The Catwoman just didn't work. It's like the only director who could make it work. What? No, animation. Oh my god, watch the Batman the animation version, Paul Dini's version of Catwoman. There, Catwoman really worked. And of course, Batman Returns. Michelle Pfeiffer absolutely worked, absolutely. It was part of the whole world that they built. It was perfect. But here it just like she was like playing a different movie, and Robert Pattinson is playing another movie, and it just didn't work. But I told you all the positive things that I loved. It is so many extras, so many people, 100, 200, 300 people moving around in the scenes. I love that. I actually really miss that. Really miss that in the movies. I think it was a great fun. I loved the rosé in the beginning and I loved the movie, so it was quite a good day.